What if airsoft fields were symmetrical? Well, today we're going to talk about some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages of designing your airsoft field like this to see if it would be something that would be worthwhile and would benefit a field. What's up, airsofters? My name is Lane and welcome to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsofting field, and recently I've been getting back into arena-style first-person shooters, and because airsoft is a game, I often like to make comparisons between video games that I play and airsoft. Talk about things that would work in both of them, things from airsoft that could work in a video game, or things that could work in a video game to airsoft. And one of the things I really started thinking about was field design, and more specifically, what if airsoft fields were designed to be symmetrical? Now, this is something that admittedly really would be hard to do on an outdoor field because of landscape, especially if you're doing a wooded outdoor field. I mean, if you have a flat piece of land that you can do this on, it could work. However, those are really few and far between where I'm from, So this is primarily something I'm going to be talking about for indoor fields, because indoor fields can do this, so at least most of them can. Most indoor fields are a perfect square or some sort of a rectangle. So the idea for this, and the reason why I think that this could be a good idea, is because if an airsoft field is symmetrical, there's no sign that can be better than the other side, at least in the way of map design. It puts more emphasis on the skill of the players than what side of the field they're on. Because if both sides are the same tactics can be applied to both sides. And think about it, how many airsoft fields that you have gone to where one side is just overpowered compared to the other? Pretty much all airsoft fields are a little bit guilty of this, because if each side isn't symmetrical, it's a little bit hard to make sure that they're perfectly balanced. Some things are going to work on one side that don't work on the other side, and things like that. So I think that's one of the main advantages of having a symmetrical airsoft field, is that both sides will have a level playing field, and who wins will come down to skill and teamwork, which is something that we want to promote in airsoft, is more teamwork. We don't need more lone wolves who are like, dude, I'm so good at sniping, I'm just going to run out in the distance and get no kills the entire game. We need people who are going to work together to play towards the objective, because that makes airsoft more fun and more interesting. And I think that's one of the main advantages that we would see from a design like this. The reason why arena-style shooters do have their fields, or I should say their maps, be symmetrical, is because it gives them a playing field, or a level playing field, I should say, for more of a competitive style. Now, I'm not saying that airsoft has to be competitive or anything like that. That's to the contrary of my personal beliefs. I think that competition in airsoft, while friendly competition can be a good thing, anything more than friendly competition in airsoft is really bad, because we're playing an honor type of game. This isn't like paintball, where you have a huge red dot on you when you get shot, and even then, people still don't call hits in paintball. So I'm not saying that airsoft has to be overly competitive. However, having a field that allows you to compete against the other team in like a friendly way could be a good thing. Now, again, because both sides are the same, you can develop tactics that are going to work despite what side you're on, because the side you're on isn't going to matter. So the other thing is objectives are going to be evenly spaced. There's a lot of fields that I go to which are asymmetric, so each side is different. And there are games, well, objective games, I should say, where one team always just gets blown out because the objective is so much, easier for the other team, even if it's a neutral objective, like a flag in the middle, or take the flag back to your base, things like that. There are sides that are just better than the other, and that's because the field is asymmetric. However, if it was a symmetrical field, this couldn't be possible. And again, it would rely solely on teamwork and personal skill. Now, I think that there are going to be some distinct disadvantages to having a symmetrical field, and one of the more obvious ones is you're going to get bored of it faster. The thing about video games is AAA games ship with 8 to 10 maps. An airsoft field is one map that you are constantly playing, and if it's the same on both sides, you're probably going to use the same strategy every time, or at least something similar, and it's going to get old fast. Even fields I think are fantastic, I get sick of if I play at too much. I mean, there are fields that I think that are the best field in my state. I still get bored of it. If I play there repeatedly too much, I will get sick of it. So a way that this could be remedied is that the field staff could change the field up every couple of weeks so that it really doesn't get stale. However, that's going to be kind of hard to do when you have to keep it symmetrical. An advantage that game designers have that field owners don't have is, one, the stuff that's on a map in a video game is free. It's not like putting that there. It costs them actual money to put that into the map. And the other thing is, they're designing it. They are not doing the physical work of putting that item there. So it's easier to move things than it is for an airsoft field staff, which is obvious because video games aren't real and airsoft fields are. However, this would be a major issue, is that moving things, if you wanted to stay with the symmetrical theme, is going to be difficult and you're going to have to coordinate it. Something very similar that I want to talk about to symmetrical fields is mirrored fields. So the field isn't symmetrical, but each side is a mirror of itself. That doesn't work a lot. If it's not purely symmetrical, it's just mirrored, there can be a lot of issues. And the main issue with a field design like that is every game feels the same. It's not like symmetrical where you have options. The field that I'm going to use as an example is currently closed. They closed down about a year ago. I'm thinking of Plains Airsoft. Now, that was a fantastic field, don't get me wrong. That is the best indoor field I've ever played at. However, the design was pretty much a mirror of itself. There were a few differences on each side, however, both sides played the same. And the thing with that field, if you ever had a chance to go there, is that the only way that you could play that field was by going to the right. They had two main buildings, so imagine like a football field. At the 50-yard line, they had like a car or two, and there'd typically be an objective there if you're playing an objective game. And then at about the 30-yard line, there was two-story buildings. Technically to the left of them, if you're looking towards the enemy, there was two smaller buildings, and then there was just some random ones in the back near the 20-yard line to the touchdown zone, if we're going to continue to use the football field example. And the issue with that field, although I loved the field, is that despite what side you were on, you couldn't push left, because what would happen is you'd have 5 guys hanging on the right-hand side of the main building trying to pop people. And then what would happen is the only way that you could advance on a style like that is to go right, because there was more cover, because there was that smaller building. I will throw some gameplay up here to kind of give an example of it, because I know I'm not describing it the best with my hands. And I absolutely loved the field. However, that was one issue with it, is that it felt kind of repetitive. I mean, I'm not trying to talk crap about a field that's closed. Whatever the owner is doing now, I wish him the best of luck with whatever he does. I absolutely loved his field, and they were all so kind to me and my friends and everyone who went to go play at that field. And it's a shame that their field closed. But there are other fields that do that, and I think that it would be interesting to experiment with symmetrical fields. However, unless you do it really, really well, a field that is mirrored like that, so it's not like perfectly symmetrical, it's just a mirror of itself on each side, that can have some issues where things start to feel repetitive. Overall, I think that it would be a very interesting experience if it was done right. This is the type of thing where it could go very wrong very fast, and I think it's kind of hard for field owners to do, especially outdoor field owners, because again, you need to have a flat piece of property. However, it's something that I feel like a lot of field owners don't want to do because they want to have a creative style or something like that with their field. Like, I know a lot of fields really go for the aesthetic of a certain situation or things they want to copy. I've seen fields that have done like remakes of games from video, or remakes of maps from video games. Like I know Hudson Valley Airsoft had a map from Call of Duty 4 a couple years ago. So things like that. There are a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to do it. However, I think it would be very, very interesting to try, because in the paintball world, something that's somewhat parallel is pretty popular for speedball. You know, if you're unfamiliar with paintball, the ones with the balloons that people play with. A lot of somewhat symmetrical designs are on there, and I think it'd be interesting to experiment with. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every Tuesday and Friday here on the channel, as well as checking out our social media for content that doesn't make it here to YouTube. My name is Lane, and thank you for watching this video about symmetrical airsoft fields on the BB Warrior. I will see you all next time.